Facing the Sea, Spring Blossoms. Common reading for Heise's Spring Blossoms. Author Treman. For the poet Heise, between the two happiness is a dilemma. Choosing earthly happiness means giving up great poetic ideals. The pursuit of happiness as the king of poetry may lead to the renunciation of life itself. In the opinion of the poet himself, how is the current me different from the one from tomorrow? Now I am an unhappy person. No correspondence with loved ones. Now I'm not good at communicating. There is no happiness that can be transmitted and shared. Now I don't have the power to rename the world. Why from tomorrow, and not from now on? Because it is true that the poet did not commit suicide after writing this poem. Probably for suicide, he wasn't fully realistically prepared. In death for the poet, it should be a grand ceremony. Because we don't have the power to choose how we came into the world, but we have the power to decide how to leave this world. 2 months later, on March 26, 1989, the 25-year-old poet Heise chose to commit suicide by lying on the rails in Shanhaiguan. Shanhaiguan, the pass of mountains and seas, the demarcation of continents and waters. That is, the spring blossoms and the face of the sea divide. Heise took 4 books with him when he committed suicide. Old and New Testaments, Walden. Lonely Rafts, selected novels by Conrad. The Old and New Testaments are what we commonly call the Bible. In our Gangnam area, many fishermen are Catholic in the West. Maybe in Heise's opinion, the Bible is more than a literary read. It is also a book of faith to the New World. Henry David Thoreau, author of Walden, was a 19th-century American writer. After graduating from university, he loved nature and was far away from the bustling and hustle and bustle of the city. Alone to the shores of Lake Erton. After building a log cabin and farming for more than 2 years, he created Walden. The Lonely Raft is the best-selling book of the world's most famous Norwegian. The author, Thor Heyerdahl, researches the Polynesian islands in the Pacific Ocean. He made an appointment with 5 companions and built a raft. In April 1947 he drifted west from Peru. Endured all kinds of tribulations. Finally, more than 3 months later, traversed more than 4,000 nautical miles of ocean. Arrive in the Polynesian islands. It was a raft voyage that shocked the world. Recognized as one of the bravest feats of our time. Selected novels of Conrad. Conrad is known as one of the 8 great modern British writers. Originally from Poland, his father was exiled by the Russian government for his participation in the Polish national independence movement. He was raised by his maternal uncle after the death of his parents. In 1874, he went to Marseille to study sailing. Later, he worked as a sailor and captain on British merchant ships, and lived at sea for 20 years. He has been to South America, Africa, Southeast Asia, and other places. He died of a heart attack in 1924. Conrad published 13 novels and 28 short stories. 2 volumes of memoirs and political treatises, letters, etc. Conrad excels at depicting life at sea. The works are often colored with pessimism and mystery. The protagonists are mostly anomalous characters in special environments. There is a heavy psychological burden. In the end, I had to leave the country. Being in solitude. The 4 books that Heise took with him before his death. They are all Western literature. Can we jokingly call it Western Elysium? That phrase in our national language. Send you to the West Heaven. How can it not be death? Most of these works are related to the sea or water. It was the world across the ocean. Heise standing at the mouth of Shanhaiguan. Named Child of the Sea. I don't know if he can be reborn on the other side of the ocean. Meet the arrival of spring blossoms.